Welcome to today's video, and today we'll be talking about section view labels. And here we have some section views that we already created. These section views are from this corridor. Here you can see the sample lines all the way down here. So they formed these section views, and now we want to see how we can manipulate these labels, or how these labels behave. So I will start by removing the clutter from these section views. You can see they have a lot of elements. They are portraying the earthworks and many other things. So let me just remove much of that. So I'll just click on one section view, and then the contextual tab will appear, and I will go to the view group properties. Here under the view group properties, I want to uncheck this information. I just want to be left with the top or surface and the corridor itself. I don't want to see the earthworks, the pavements, the base, the sub-base, and all that. So once I uncheck everything and I'm left with what I want to see, I just hit apply, and there you can see I don't have the clutter that was on our section view. So now we can see the labels here. This is what I'm interested in this tutorial. And how do you manipulate labels in section views? So for most section views, labels are controlled by the code set style. So if I select, for example, here, again, I select a grid for the section view, and I go again back to the view group properties, you can see on my right here under the styles, this is a code set style that is controlling the appearance and the labeling of the section view. So let's say if I was to change this to something else, let's say basic, and click OK, and I apply, you would see the change. So let me go back to view edit, code set style. So that is what is controlling the appearance of my labels. Okay, so let's say I wanted to remove these slopes up here. What would I do? I would go to the code set style again. The code set style here under settings can be found here at the general point, and then here under the multi-purpose styles, I can just go to code set styles here, and I can find the code set style of interest. In this case, it's called the view edit, and I can right click and go to edit, and I don't want to see the slope labels or the grade labels. So for example, I go to the links, and I will see the links, the labels that are on the links. So for example, for my daylights, they are labeled. I don't want to see the slopes of the daylights. I just hit none, and then I click OK. And then for the pavement also, the slopes of the pavements are labeled, and I don't want to see them. So I click on none, and I hit OK, and I apply. And then you can see that the labels have disappeared for all the section views. So code set styles help us to label section views pretty easily. But one other style that you can use, or one other way that you can use to overcome some limitation of code set styles, for example, in code set styles you cannot stagger these labels. So another way of labeling these section views is through the section view label sets. So if I go back here to the settings tab, and I collapse this, and I go to the section. So let me expand the section. You can see here there's some label styles. And if I come here to the label sets, you can see here some label sets for a section. You wonder how can that be applied? So we're going to learn that very quickly. So the way to do that is pretty simple. You just hit a command called corridor section label convert. So here is the command. I just hit this, and then I am prompted to select section views which I want to convert into these labels. So I can select the section views that I want to convert, and I hit enter. So once I hit enter, Civil 3D will ask me, convert all corridor point labels to either code set styles or corridor point style label. So I hit this second option. I just click this one. And then here, the label set, I will select the corridor point labels and I just hit OK. And there you can see your labels are now changed. And you can see here, you can even stagger the labels. So if I go here to the settings tab, for example, and go to the label that I have already selected for my corridor section, I can come here, and if this is too big of a font, I can change the size of the label. I can come here and change the size of the label, and let's say put it to 2, and I hit apply, and I can hit OK, and I can also change. Let me hit OK and see the changes. And I can also change this stagger line heights so that you can explore at your own point. And as you can see, the labels become much smaller, and they're able to be staggered quite easily. And if you want to label this differently from this, it is also capable. For example, when we changed the quote set style, it changed everything. But as you can see, for this label set, you're able to change the section views of your choice. So this is today's video. Thank you for watching our videos. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share our content. See you in the next video.